All right, here we are. We are live. I know things look a little bit weird. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I know things look a little bit weird, and there's a reason for that. I will tell you why that is in just 1 second. As soon as I get the go-ahead as far as audio and video sound good, that's when I will explain what's going on here, because you're going to click on this and be like, hey, what's going on? No, you know what? I'm not going to wait on that because people will be upset. Let's see. I'm not getting anything yet. I'm not getting any audio video checks yet, and it's bothering me. But there we go. Thank you, Melissa. I'm not going to make people wait any longer. Yes, she is here. She's back with me. Everything is back to normal now. Yes, thankfully. I am so excited about that. So welcome back.
Thank you.
You haven't said anything to anyone in a while.
I didn't know I was on there yet.
What?
I didn't know I was up yet because I just saw you.
Oh. Yeah, you're back. You're here.
Yeah. But I had so much fun hanging out with everybody in chat the last couple weeks, so it's so much fun. I think I'm going to do that once in a while just because I really do like to interact with everybody and answer questions and just hang out with you guys in there. So, guys and girls.
I know it's been a few weeks, but yeah, thank you.
Oops.
So, okay. We've got some things to talk about, and then I'm going to talk about something that I am extraordinarily upset about.
No.
It's an interesting story, and I think it'll be fun. I'm not going to go on this big rant. You, the viewers, are probably going to figure out what it is that I'm upset about before I even get to it. So, but first things first, I want to do something here. I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing on here that's going to be particularly people aren't going to want to see. Nothing I need to hide on here is what I mean. So I'm going to share my screen here with you and show you the speaker lineup for Aquashella. And we've got Thane, my buddy. Hopefully I'm going to be seeing him after Aquashella too. Jake Adams, not sure who that is. No disrespect to him. I'm not a saltwater guy. He's a reef guy, so I don't know that guy. And I don't know this guy either, Sanjay Joshi. I'm not familiar with him. Again, reef guy, no big deal. This guy looks kind of familiar. I don't know. I don't know if I know that guy or not. Maybe I've seen him around. Joey Moulin, something like that. I don't know. I've never heard of that guy. It kind of looks like a jerk, if I'm being honest, but no, everybody knows who that is. Of course, he is going to be back at the events, so that's cool. Another guy that I'm not familiar with, but again, I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm just being honest with you. I'm sure I'll meet him at the show, and I'm sure he's a great guy. But then there's this guy. Yay, finally up on the site. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a loser. Well, I know I'm a loser, but I don't know. It makes me happy to finally see myself on there. It's like it makes it official. But that is on Sunday. If you're somebody that's planning on going to Aquashella in October, we're both going to be there, but I'm going to be doing the talk all by myself because you don't want to do that with me.
I think you do such a good job without me up there that I just like to watch.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm fine with that, and hopefully we can get the camera situation straightened out this time, and everything will be good. Wow, what is happening here with the super chats? I guess if you're a member now, the super chats come through green or something.
They do look different.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It says how many months they are.
That's either a
Wow.
Sanjay Joshi is an expert on lighting. He is well worth a listen. Cool. See, now I know. Thank you for that, Fish Tank Barn. Mike, you're not going to be there, correct? You're not making the trip to Dallas? That's a long way from Michigan. But yeah, that looks really different. It's going to take a little time for me to get used to that new look there. I don't know if that's a glitch or if that's something new for today. But okay, on the topic of talking about Sanjay Joshi, I hope I'm saying his name right, being an expert on lighting, it's time for me to talk about what I'm pissed about right now.
Oh.
Let me see if anybody has made any kind of comment about it. I don't think anybody has. Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet. John, wow, the lights on your tanks look amazing. What's happening? Oh, thank you for asking that. So I got some new lights on these tanks here behind me.
And me.
And
Yeah.
the beautiful Lisa Marie. Look at that. I mean, look how, listen, I know I'm a little biased because I'm married to this woman, but come on. The right half of this screen is breathtaking. I mean, because of her, because of the tank, it is spectacular. I want to show all of you something here. And then I'm going to tell the story about why I'm so pissed. Where did I bury this thing here? I want to show you, because I took a screenshot. It's not very flattering of me, but it's flattering of you.
What are you talking about?
Took a screenshot of, where did it go? I can't find it. That is bizarre. And well, that makes no sense. I don't see them anymore, and it kind of bothers me. Let me see. Maybe I have it. There it is. So look at this. This is a screenshot of the last time you were on a stream with me that is still live. Look at the difference between the Yellow Lab tank with the old lights and with the new ones. Wow. Give me a break.
Oh.
Come on.
Well, even the yellow labs look like a different color yellow. Wow.
They are popping more for sure. I mean, it's an absolute no-brainer of a difference here. Now, look at the difference with mine. What a great picture that is of me. I wanted to make sure you looked good in the screenshot. I didn't particularly
You're
care
so funny.
what I looked like there, but look at that. Now, the lights that I had on these tanks before are good lights. They're great lights, and everybody complimented on how good the tanks looked when we were on these live streams.
Ooh, I actually like the tank better behind you and the other one.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the tannin look. It looks more natural.
No, see, I like the darker blue with the blues and with the reds, and it definitely does look more natural. You're spot on there, but I prefer this look here. The lights that were on these tanks before are very good lights, and I'm not unhappy with them at all. But these new lights are something absolutely special. I'm still not seeing anybody making any comments. So, okay, this could be a mistake for me to say this. Because if you're not seeing this and then I say it to you, then you're going to start seeing it and it's going to drive you absolutely crazy. You being the viewers here hanging out with us tonight. There is a very slight flicker in both of these tanks. Now, I want to be very, very clear. If you know anything about lighting and cameras, sometimes they don't get along very well, particularly LEDs. Light bulbs are fine, but LEDs sometimes do not cooperate with the shutter on cameras. And so sometimes you will get a really bad flicker. If you've ever watched a car review video and there's the lights are on on the cars and they're flickering. You're like, that looks terrible. Why would anybody want to see this with these flickering lights? Well, it's not the lights. They're not flickering. It's the shutter on the camera and the LED not getting along, because LEDs are bursting light really fast, and you can't see it with the naked eye, but cameras can pick that up. And so that's what causes that flicker. Now, if you don't see it, and if it's not driving you crazy now that I've brought it to your attention, I'm going to leave it this way. But if it's something that is bothering you, the viewers, I do have a backup plan. I can turn the other lights back on. If I don't want to give people a headache or anything like that, we'll have to see how that is. But Alice B says, am I blind? I can't see the flicker. Well, if you can't see it, that's fine. You know, if you're watching this on a phone or even a small laptop or something like that, it might be that it's small enough where you don't really notice the flicker. And if that's the case, I hope that's true.
And you know, I think some of it could also be the lighting in the room. It puts a little glare sometimes in the glass, and it just doesn't show the exact same way. If you have, like, we have all the lights on in here, so it kind of makes the aquarium look a little differently. It makes us look a little different, where if we didn't have the lights on, or maybe the lights were done a little differently in here, the tank would show differently.
Yeah.
Because I definitely see a huge difference on camera than I do in person. Because, like,
in person, you can't see it at all.
Well, I'm not even talking about the flicker. I'm just talking about the quality, the way it looks, as far as, like, I'm looking at that tank right now, and it looks amazing. It looks awesome, better than I've ever seen it. But on camera, when you showed it side by side, it looked better on camera with the old lights. That's what I think.
Okay. I mean, we can agree to disagree. Your tank, well, excuse me, how dare you? Both of these are mine. Come on. Yeah. But the one that's on screen with you,
right?
Wow. I mean, it just looks amazing.
But I don't see a flicker. Even on my screen right here, I don't see a flicker.
Good. I mean, and you know what? A lot of people are commenting that they don't see a flicker too. So I'm going to leave that issue alone. But I do want to tell you the story about these lights, because it's an entertaining story. I may have told it before. I don't know. But it's a lot of fun, and I wanted to share it with you. Back when we were looking for lights to pick up for our website, I talked to a lot of people and, went back and forth with a lot of people. And I was never really getting where I wanted to get. And we ended up going with the Higer lights, which I'm really happy with. We've got a ton of them working in our fish room right now. We've sold hundreds and hundreds of them. I'm really, really happy with those lights. And the customers seem to be happy with them too. So I wasn't really, that decision was made. But I was talking to that guy from Oklahoma, the one that says holla all the time. What's that guy's name again? I just
it's Jay something.
Try to block him out of my memory.
Jay something.
Yes, Jay Wilson. He's a good friend of mine. I'm teasing. Was talking to him one day, and he was like, did you find a light? And I said, yeah, we've got one. He said, oh, well, you need to send those back, and you need to get these other ones. And I'm like, so well, I can't do that. We've got hundreds of them we bought. And he said, well, listen, when we go to Aquashella in Chicago, I'm going to introduce you to somebody, and you're going to want his lights. Trust me. You're going to want his, and you're going to want to get rid of the other ones. I was like, well, I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to introduce me to somebody. So to go back a little bit, at the last 3 events that I've been at, there was a particular group of people that I hung out with quite a lot. And that was people like Papa Shrimp, Science Gal, this guy Tulio, who is from New York, and he's amazing. He's awesome. He's like, hey, forget about it. The way he talks is, I could listen to the guy all day long. It's like listening to Joe Pesci or something. It's so much fun. There's a particular group of people, and these people are smokers or vapors. And so I would be outside indulging in my vice, and socializing with these people. So I got to know these people pretty well, but I didn't know them that good. And when Jay in Chicago walks up to me, I'm like, oh, Jay's coming. And he's got Tulio with him. I wonder if Tulio's getting ready to go out and have a smoke. Maybe that. No, it was Tulio, was the light guy that Jay wanted to introduce me to. And I was like, oh, that all okay. How funny is that? I already know this guy. I've talked with him so much, and I could listen to his stories forever. And it was really, really cool. But Tulio is the owner of Reef Bright. Now, if you are a saltwater person, you know exactly what Reef Bright is. I'm sorry, I'm boring you over here, but
so bored.
He owns Reef Bright. They are very, very well known in the saltwater world. Not so much the freshwater world, but they're trying to change that, and they have come out with a line called Lumalight, and that's what you're seeing here right now. We have these as kind of testers to see if it perhaps might be something that we want to pick up for our website. Now you're thinking, well, you said you're happy with the Higers. I am. This is a different class of light than the Higers, though. One of the things that we really love about the Higers is that they're a great light, and they're very affordable for normal people like us. When you get into these Lumalights, they are significantly more expensive than the Higers. Are they worth it? Oh, yes, they're worth it. Because like Lisa Marie was saying, if you see these in person, it is
a lot different.
Oh, I cannot even begin to explain how crazy the difference is between them in person and on camera. It is night and day, and you just have to see it. And I'm going to suggest to Tulio, in fact, his message is open to me on Facebook. I'm going to suggest that should become his slogan. And Tulio, I only want 5% royalties on this. The slogan or the tagline should be, you just have to see it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I am a brilliant marketer, and I didn't even know it. I'm telling you, folks. And it's true, because when we were there, Tulio started talking about it. Like, yeah, I would love to show you the lights. We don't have a booth here in Chicago, but we have a tank set up in this other room, which is just for vendors. If you want to come in there and see it, come on in there. I went in there. I swear it was with you, but apparently it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Maybe it was Jason and Joanna. I don't know. I was with a dark-haired woman. That sounded weird, but it was either you or Joanna. I don't know why Joanna would have been in there. Who cares? I went in there with them.
It makes sense if you were with Jason and Joanna.
You know what? The more I'm thinking about it, I think it might have been Jason and Joanna that I was with. Yeah. And that's why I'm confusing it with you.
Because you kept saying to me, the guy, and he talks like, forget about it. And I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about. You were there. I'm like, no, I wasn't. I never went into any other room except the Aquashella room, and I didn't even get to see half of what was in there. So
Primetime Aquatics is here. I just saw him pop up in the chat. Jason, was that you? Was that you and Joanna that went with me over to the other room with Tulio to look at these lights? I think it might have been Jason. But yeah, when I saw that on that tank in that little display, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I see it. I see it now, which again, that needs to be the tagline. You just have to see it.
Right.
And these things look great on camera right now, but if you were to see them in person, I'm telling you right now, it's a different ball game. And the reason why I'm pissed is because how beautiful does it make this display here while we're streaming, but with that daggone flicker, which is not the light's fault. I mean, it's the camera's fault. I don't know. We're going to have to see how it goes. But everybody's saying they don't see a flicker. So if there's no flicker, great. We're not going to worry about it then.
Oh, you mentioned Primetime.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to show everybody what Joanna sent me. She sent me a shirt. See? Isn't it cute? It's the small skate T-shirt. I love it so much.
It is very cute. That's the one you ordered and paid for, and then she refused to accept your
And
payment.
refunded me.
He just said it was him. Yep. Okay. That makes total sense then. I don't know if Joanna was with us, but I do remember now Jason being there. So yeah, it all makes sense now that you didn't get to meet Tulio. Tulio's one of those guys, you only meet him for about 2 seconds and you feel like you've known him for 20 years. I mean, it just is what it is. So I'm tossing around the idea, we are tossing around the idea of possibly offering these on our site. And you'll see in the future if we do. It gives us the opportunity to offer a very affordable light that's very good, and then a higher end light, because Fluval won't sell to us and other companies won't sell to us. Lumalight is like, please, yes, we love you, it'd be great. So, they get it. They understand that, we ain't messing around. So we'll have to see. But I don't know for sure. I feel pretty good about it, though, because I feel like all people need to do is see it. You just got to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's brilliant. So, okay, one more quick thing, and then I want to get into this this topic for today, which came from a comment on a video. Thank you. I'm not looking at you. Thank you, too, for just being my wife. But
you're
thanking
welcome.
you, the lens of this camera, I want to thank you for the response that we've gotten, that we've received, that sounds better, to Sunday's video that we did. That one, I said it last week, it's one of my favorite videos that we've ever done. I was so happy, and I wasn't even in it. I was so happy about that. A lot of people are asking about the animations. I wanted to, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I wanted to say the For Dummies series is not going to be an animated series. In fact, the one that's coming out this Sunday has about a 30-second little clip that is an animated one. Different tank, different fish, different everything than what you've seen in the past videos. And the only reason I've done that is because it's just easier to demonstrate the things that I'm talking about.
Right.
With the ick video, I don't have a bunch of footage of fish with ick. I mean, I don't.
Right.
So I'll make a fish look like it has ick with an animated little guy, and it will be it's perfect. So
I should have got footage of those fish I got like a year ago that I had in the quarantine tank, that within a week they had ick. I should have got footage of that.
they were rummy-nosed tetras, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I am so glad
Yeah, that happened
quarantined.
really fast too.
It did. It was like insane how fast it happened.
You know, that's one of those things that in hindsight you look back and you're like, oh, I should have done that. But it's also, we like to live our lives and we don't carry a camera around with us 24/7. But, and who would have known that we would have been doing our 5th ick video?
Right.
So anyway, but yeah, thank you for the response. Hasn't gotten a ton of views because that's just the time of year. It is what it is. I'm not going to cry in my pillow. But that's what I wanted, was that response. And there was one response that
I thought it was a lot of fun making that video, and I enjoyed it. I was really excited that day, super happy that day, and was just like, I'm ready to make videos. And believe it or not, full disclosure here, I dress myself. I am not 5 years old, and John does not tell me what to wear for videos in case anybody thinks that, whatever.
I've been trying to talk her off the ledge all week, but it is what it is. There was one particular person that said something that
It's fine.
I mean, it's not that it hurt your feelings. It's
No.
just dumb, the thing that was said.
Wow.
And there it is. We don't need to talk about that anymore. Let's get into this topic. Are you ready, or did you have anything you wanted to talk about?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's see. We've got McKenna Mounts K Lower 181 became a member. Fry. I guess that's what this means. I don't know. It's weird with the way these are showing up.
It
And
must
said,
be
"Hey,
something new."
I guess." And then also vomited on me because he knew it horrified me last week, and he wanted to do it again today. Thank you for vomiting on me. I'm not going to say this next person's name because you are a rascal and you know exactly why. Says, "Welcome back to you."
Oh, thanks.
His name is something very inappropriate. He's a channel member too, which makes me upset because I want to be able to say his name, but he's a rascal.
I think I know which one it is. I saw it come through, and I was
You don't
like,
forget
oh.
that one.
Yeah.
Then we got Furloughs Aquatics. Happy Thursday, y'all, and welcome back, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Liz Silverwing, welcome back, Lisa. Everybody's happy that
Aw,
you're here,
thank
and I
you.
understand why, because, I get it. You know what it is? Maybe it's just channel member. I don't know. I don't know what all of these are, but they're all showing up green, and it's interesting.
Yeah, I did see somebody put something in chat saying it's like a special feature for channel members, and that's really cool.
I mean, it is cool. That's definitely cool because it highlights them and all of that. Then we have the Fish Tank Barn saying Sanjay Joshi is a lighting expert. Zen Ginger, I get a 24-month member chat, but still have another week until my Bubbles badge. Oh,
ooh, exciting.
Good job, YouTube. We love you too, Zen Ginger. Thank you so much for that. Furloughs Aquatics, again, yeah, buddy, Thursday night comes in with the $10. He's done so much for us. I don't know why he feels like he needs to keep doing that. Ligate 12, I need help getting rid of internal parasites in Malawi cichlids. I've tried near everything, including daily substrate vax to no avail. Please help.
I mean, as far as that goes, whenever we had something, which wasn't very often at the fish store, and I really don't go through anything here ever at this point, but I believe, I would use something like Prazipro or
Metronidazole of some type.
Something. Oh, I know the one by Fritz, the Expel.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good medications to use, and
Or Paraclans.
And some people I've heard, they'll put it in the food and feed the fish the food that's been medicated. And of course you want to quarantine the fish, so you're only treating the fish, and keep an eye on the other ones too, because you don't want to, in case that fish gave the other fish the parasites. It's very possible, but that's what I would use. And definitely do water changes and keep the water clean, so that anything that, like the poop, when they poop and it comes out and stuff, you're definitely getting that out of there. So, but yeah, there you go.
You won't leave me alone about it, so I figured I'd go grab it. Ligate again came in with the PS Fred Durst hat. He says it every single week, so I have to appease him today.
That's so funny.
With that. So yeah, thank you, Ligate, for that. Greg Witt just ordered the Title 110. You are going to love that, my friend. What a great filter. What a great choice you made, whether you ordered it from us. No, you did order it from us because I see it right there. Thank you so much for that. I was going to say, whoever you ordered it from, you're going to love that filter. Got to delay the main topic a little bit more because you need to make an announcement about what's happening this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. I am leaving tomorrow. I'll be back. I'm leaving tomorrow, and I'm going to drive up to Pennsylvania, and I'm going to hang out with a bunch of fish people all weekend at the Keystone Clash. And I'm super excited. I already have plans with some people already, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I was just in Pennsylvania last weekend hanging out with, I went for my daughter's field hockey game. She had 2 in a row up in Pennsylvania. And then the second day I got to hang out with a super special person, and it was a whole lot of fun. And I kind of did a vlog thing of last weekend, so that'll be a video coming out shortly. It's going to be a little behind, you'll know it's not right then. It'll be, in a couple weeks probably. But so hopefully I get to meet a bunch of people there. Maybe you guys are going to go. You should definitely check out Keystone Clash if you're anywhere near Pennsylvania. So it's going to be fun.
Now, if you are going to be at the Keystone Clash, and I'm going to ask you a favor, take care of my girl, because I'm not going to be there. Because somebody has to stay home and take care of the business, and my niece is getting married on Saturday. And so there's two reasons for me not to go. If there wasn't the wedding, I would be going. We would pack up all the orders until the 2:00 deadline tomorrow, and then we would head up to Pennsylvania. But in case you're going to wonder, well, John, why don't you go to the wedding and then go up there? I mean, it's only like 3.5 hours away. I thought about that too, but my niece, I don't know what it is with these early 20s people in 2021. Their wedding isn't till 5 p.m.
Wow.
Who gets married at 5 p.m.? If it was at 1 o'clock, I would do the service. I would probably bail on the reception, and I would do it. But they're getting married at 5 o'clock. So, and, I'm not going to drive up there just for Sunday. No offense, Keystone Clash. It's just not something that I'm going to do. So it'll be just her, and that'll be cool. So
yeah.
Take care of her. If you're going to the Keystone Clash, make sure you keep an eye on her. Make sure everything's okay, and make sure it's not Lefty that's taking care of her.
Please.
Is he going to be there?
Yeah, Lefty's going to be there.
You are not allowed to ride in a car with that man.
God, stop. That
You're
was
not
so
allowed.
funny. That was hilarious. It's going to be Lefty and Susie and Rico Stan, and there's other people. Lucas, he's speaking. Jen Williams is speaking and doing a demonstration. That's going to be a lot of fun. Friday night. There's that rainbow fish guy.
Gary Lang.
Yeah. And yeah, it's going to be fun.
Cool.
Good time.
Yep. So take care of my girl while she's up there, y'all. All right, let's get into this topic here. As I do, if I need a topic, I go to the comment section and I look for comments that there's a lot of questions that can be answered in 30 seconds. That doesn't give us much to talk about. So rather than do that, I look for questions that we can have a conversation about. And this one definitely jumped out to me. I will put it up on the screen here. If you're watching on a phone, you probably can't read along because it is really, really small. But I don't know. I don't know why I put it up on there, but it is from Alexander Sakowski, who also happens to be a member. I didn't do that intentionally, I promise. Can you guys do a video on a tank deep cleaning? I have a 10-gallon tank and I'm new at this and I could use some help. I'm doing my water change and gravel vac, but I feel it's just not getting clean enough. Please help. And then he used the blue fish. Those are indeed the fish that I use in the videos, folks. The little blue emoji that channel members have access
They're so
to.
Cute.
I don't have the blue one to use in the videos. I have green, yellow, red, and pink. I don't know where the blue one went, but anyway. This one immediately jumped right out at me because this is kind of what we have built our business on, is this kind of a question, because the beginner problems that a lot of beginners face, or should I say almost every beginner is going to face, is right what we like to do. Look at this. Zen Ginger and Lefty are just spamming the blue fish now. Yeah, isn't he adorable? So this question is perfect because I believe almost every fish keeper has experienced this. I know I have twice, actually, because I had this experience in the beginning, and then I took a little break from the hobby, not a couple of years ago. I'm talking way, way back. And then when I got back into it, I same thing. And it's very, very, very common for new fish keepers and even experienced fish keepers to not ever be truly satisfied with the conditions of their tank. And there's a group of people, not somebody, I don't want to isolate one person, but there's a group of people that I'm going to blame for this issue. It wasn't the blame when I went through this 20 years ago, but I think it's, I can blame them now. And those people are aquascapers that aquascape tanks on YouTube. People like George Farmer, Tanner Serpa, Mike from AquaPros, all of them. It's all their fault.
Oh.
The guy that's speaking at Aquashella before me, it's his fault too. All of them. Jen Williams, it's her fault. And you want to know why? Because those people make the most gorgeous aquariums in the world. And they are beautiful, absolutely show-stopping pieces of art. And of course I'm being funny when I say it's their fault. I'm not blaming these people. They're brilliant at what they do. But what I'm saying is it gives kind of a false expectation. Mm-hmm. And people, not all people, I think there's probably a lot of people that are going to look at their aquarium and they're just not satisfied with it. They feel like it could be better. That's how it was for me. But I think there's probably a lot of people that see those videos and they're like, oh, that is such a gorgeous piece of art. How come my tank doesn't look like that?
Or it looks like that for a couple weeks and now it looks like this and it's all, algae everywhere and hair algae growing up this way and just yeah.
And see, that's an interesting thing because I want all of those people that I just called out, I'm going to call out for actually doing the right thing too, because a lot of those people, all those YouTubers will show their tanks down the road. Like, remember when I did this tank? Well, look at it now. It's been a year and it looks completely different. Doesn't look bad, but it looks completely different because it's growth. I mean,
my King George tank.
Absolutely. Yes.
His tank doesn't look exactly the same. It doesn't look horrible or anything, but it's a little different.
I mean, they're all going to look different.
All the little teeny pieces of grass that I had put down and they're gone. All gone.
Well, but you also have certain things that are going to happen to an aquarium that are unavoidable, like algae. And algae is going to make it look completely different than it did. When you see, and this is not calling anybody out, and of course everybody knows I was being a goofball when I said I'm calling those people out. All of those people are geniuses. I have the utmost respect for them. I was being silly when I said that. But the other thing to say about that, and then we'll move on, because I mean, it's not really Aquascaper's fault. I just wanted to make this point. When you see a video like from Tanner, let me brown nose Tanner a little bit.
So
Tanner's tanks are breathtaking. They're gorgeous. What you're seeing when you see his videos, you're seeing the results immediately after it's done. Where there hasn't been that opportunity for algae to grow. There hasn't been that stuff that just ends up in the tank and things accumulating. And it's going to look completely different than it did when it was brand new. You are seeing it brand new. And I feel like a lot of people might see that and say, well, my tank doesn't look that good. And they're going to rip their tank apart wanting to achieve those looks. And those looks are unrealistic. Those people, it would be the equivalent of me, I can't think of somebody, Chris Hemsworth. Me looking at Chris Hemsworth and thinking, I just don't understand why I don't look like that guy. It's because I don't do what he does. And I don't take what he does either. No disrespect to him. If I was an actor, I would do it too. But he's probably he's probably got a little gear in him.
Mhm.
Steroids.
Oh, got it. Well, it took me a second. I don't know.
Listen, I didn't mean to go off on that side note there, but I would do that too if I was an Avenger. But I'm not. That wasn't me knocking the guy. But anyway,
Oh, Lord.
looking at something and getting frustrated about what you have, I think can lead to this. And it doesn't have to be those elite aquascapers like Jen Williams and George Farmer and all. George Farmer's done books on how gorgeous his tanks are, and he should. They're beautiful.
Well, and I think that the size of the tank makes a huge difference too, because I've scaped 125, I've scaped a 75, I've scaped a 10, I've scaped a 3.5 gallon, and the smaller the tank, the quicker it's going to get nasty is the best word to describe the things that could happen. You've got to take care of it a little bit more often.
And it is
And-
a lot to
Yeah.
take care of.
And
Those heavily aquascape tanks with all the plants and all of the fancy stuff, they're hard to take care of.
And that's why, my 125, I had it scaped, and then I had to rescape it when I took it back downstairs. And it's just, there was so much for me to have to keep up with, to make sure the plants were growing and making sure that there was enough coverage for the bettas, that I just decided to take it down, because I'm not a plant person like that, and I have way too many fish to take care of to have to worry about plants. So I'd rather do something easy like discus
Oh, well, and
or
there's
goldfish.
you just said discus are easy in front of 500 people.
They're easy for me. I like discus tanks that don't have anything but hardscape. I am somebody who likes to deal with hardscapes. My scape that I did at the Aquashella, a rock and one piece of little driftwood. That's it.
It's very disappointing.
I didn't even try. Well, I didn't even try. I was trying to give other people, that, give them a
I was not
chance.
disappointed. I'm joking.
I'm just kidding.
But this is something that not only that's not the only thing. The aquascapers, it goes to all other YouTubers too. Let's face it. I don't know any YouTubers, and you can tell me, I don't know any YouTubers that if their tanks look like a total disaster, they're going to make a video about it. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to clean the tank up. You're going to do a water change. You're going to clean the algae off. You're going to do what you got to do. Lucas is in here. I haven't seen him in here in a long time. He might be the only one that doesn't do this, because he goes the natural route, and that's awesome. And his tanks aren't dirty anyway. But, you don't think I look at this tank and that tank early in the day on Thursday to make sure everything's okay for the stream? If there's algae on the glass, I'm going to clean it off. And if there's a bunch of poop or something like that, I'm going to clean that up. You see my biker swimming around all over the place like a crazy fish. It's because he's hungry. I'm not going to feed him right before we start the stream. Why? Because there's going to be particles. They're gnarly. All of the fish in there, except for the severums, they're just animals. I mean, they eat and it just goes everywhere, and it makes a huge mess.
Pretty messy.
It's floating all over the tank. I'm not going to do that right before I do a live stream and have all that stuff floating around and make it look
Right.
bad. So that's the thing. If you're going to do a video about your car, you're going to make sure you get it detailed before you do that video. If you're going to do a video in front of your fish tanks, you're going to make sure that those are clean before you do it. Now, Lucas just said I make those videos. Is he talking? Yeah. And it's true, but you can get away with that, Lucas, where I can't. But anyway, I don't think it's only that. I mean, I just wanted to put that out there, that whether it's us, whether it's Joey, exclude Lucas, but it doesn't matter who you're talking about. 99% of the YouTubers, when they're going to make a video about an aquarium and you see that tank and you're like, God, his tanks or her tanks are always so perfect. They're not. They get dirty just like yours do. These tanks get dirty just like yours do.
Oh, yeah.
We make sure they look good before we do a video. It's common sense. So don't look online. Don't look at people in the magazines that have these amazing aquascapes, or they've written books about their aquascapes and stuff like that, won contests. Don't look at that and allow yourself to feel like your tank is inferior. Your tank is never going to live up to that, because most people's aren't, because those people are artists and they do things that most of us are not capable of doing. So,
and some of them never even mess with that tank again. It's just like
they put it together and they do the show and then they take it right back down. Yep.
It's not always something that they keep up with, because they're going to keep it forever. You know, it's like you said, it's a piece of art, and they just slap it together and show what they do, and they're amazing at it, and then move on to the next scape.
And that's why I wanted to shout out Tanner. I'm brown nosing him, of course. And if anybody doesn't know the brown nosing thing, it's an inside joke from Aquashella Chicago. But and Mike Aquapros, those guys will do these tanks for their videos, and then they'll show them again like 3 or 4 months later, and you'll see that they still look great, but they look completely different than they looked when they were created as a piece of art. I know, though, that it's not only that. I know it's not only the expectations that you, or the examples that you see online, and you set your expectations on that. I know that we can all be our own worst enemy, and we can look at our tanks and we look at it and we just think, it's just not right. It can be a little better.
Right.
I've been there so many times. And the biggest thing that a beginner, a seasoned veteran knows this, but a beginner needs to understand, you can clean yourself right out of this hobby. Because what's going to end up happening is, who was it that said that? Alexander, what was his name? Alexander, I don't know if I'm saying your last name right, so I'm just going to say Alexander. You're a channel member. I think it's Sikowski, but I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. You said you are a beginner, didn't you? I'm new at this, yes. You can clean your tank so much when you're doing these deep cleanings that you asked for. You can clean it so much that you actually ruin everything. And what's going to happen when you ruin everything? It's going to ruin the hobby for you. You're going to get frustrated and you're going to bail. And Lisa and I have made it our mission to stop you from bailing because we want to keep as many people in this hobby as we can. Hence the website, Keep Fish Keeping. That's our whole thing. And so when you set your expectations for what your aquarium should look like, this is my number one thing. And I think I can see Lucas Bretz in Indiana. He's going to go like this. He's going to put his fist up in the air when he hears me say this, because this is right up his alley. The thing that needs to be the most beautiful in your aquarium is your fish, not your aquarium.
I agree. That's why I don't like to put a lot of stuff in my tanks. And like my discus, I want my discus to be the focal point. Well, yeah, but I still want it to be, comfortable for them in there. That's why I don't mind tannins. You don't like them, but I add the catappa leaves and stuff. My tank looks more dark water than anything else, but they're comfortable, they're happy, they're thriving, they're growing, and I love them to pieces. And yeah.
The point that I was trying to make with that was, if your fish are healthy and your fish are beautiful, and you're right, it's easier to maintain tanks that don't have a lot of stuff in them, which is why you don't see a whole lot of stuff in either one of these tanks in this room. But a healthy fish is the number one sign that you're doing your job right. And you don't need to do anymore. You don't need to do that deep cleaning. You don't need to pick your aquarium apart and be upset because you don't think you're getting it clean enough. If your fish are happy and healthy and thriving, you're doing enough. And you don't need to drive yourself crazy, because in reality, you're probably never going to get it absolutely perfect. You're never going to get it like the ones you see in George Farmer's videos. Those are masterpieces. They're beautiful pieces of art. You're probably not going to get your aquarium. I know I could never make an aquarium look like that. I could watch his video and try to duplicate it as he's doing it, like going along with him, and I could never be able to do it. And you probably couldn't either. Think about it. How many of you grew up watching Bob Ross? You can't paint like Bob Ross, but you look at that and you're like, oh, that looks so easy. There's the happy little trees. He makes it look easy. Tiger Woods makes it look easy to play golf. Michael Jordan made it easy to play basketball. Tony Hawk makes skateboarding look easy. You understand what I'm trying to say. We mere mortals cannot do the same things that an Aqua Pros or a Tanner Serper or a Jen Williams does. So if that's what's making you set your expectations and not be happy with what your aquarium looks like, don't. Because that's like saying I don't understand why I can't play golf as good as Tiger Woods. I mean, that's just crazy. If you could, you'd be worth $2 billion too, and give half of it away to your mother. What? Wow. Not his mother, the mother of his children, which she deserved, by the way. But anyway.
Well, I mean, and there are fish out there that people say are so hard to keep, and people think they have to do water changes every day or every few days and a whole lot of water changes, and that really isn't true. If you have a really good filtration on your tank to begin with, and when you do a water change and you're siphoning, whether like I'm going to use my discus tank again as an example, but I have sand, so I see the waste on the sand, so I can just take my siphon and very easily it'll just go up through the siphon. But after that happened, when I did a large water change and my rummy nose died because of the chlorine, we didn't realize the water had been treated by the county, and I lost my rummy nose, and thankfully I did not lose my discus. I stopped doing large water changes in my discus tank, and I started doing smaller water changes and even less often. And my discus have been thriving. Keep up
and the
with
tank looks great too.
So I don't do those, 2 large water changes a week like I used to. I do maybe 20% once a week now. I just stopped going overboard, and they're doing great.
And that's a perfect example of what I was saying. I mean,
right.
I swear to you, I did a water change in that 240 that you see behind Lisa Marie, the yellow lab tank. I did a water change in that tank over the weekend. No, Tuesday. I did a water change in that tank. I hadn't done one for probably 2.5 months before that. Now, people are going to be like, oh, how dare you? That's a tank with 60 African cichlids in it. Okay, first of all, it's a humongous body of water. Second of all, the everything tests perfectly fine.
Right.
The fish are not, ruining the water. Yeah, I would scrape algae off the glass every once in a while just to make it present better for the live streams.
Right.
But the water's perfectly fine. Why am I going to change a bunch of water if I don't need to? The bottom line is the fish were happy, thriving, breeding like crazy. That to me, that's what I was saying earlier about if your fish are happy and your fish are healthy, you don't need to do any more cleaning. If I don't need to do a water change in that tank, I ain't going to do it. And I'm not lazy. I do water changes in these tanks 3 times a week if I need to. Why? Because it's easy. I've got the Ultra Zero from CJ. Thank you very much, Jay Wilson, for that. I put them in there and I hook it up to the hose and I just walk away. Or I sit here at my computer and I do stuff while it drains out. And then I fill it back up with the hose. It takes no time at all. It's easy. But I'm going to be honest. The main reason why I did the water change in that tank on Tuesday or Monday, or I don't know, who cares what day it was, Tuesday, was because I needed B-roll footage of me doing water changes for Sunday's video. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even done it because it didn't need it. It's not because I'm lazy. It's because it didn't need it. And that's what I want Alexander and anybody else that's new to this to remember. We are not trying to convince you to be lazy and not take care of your tanks. But what we're saying is, like Lucas said, and I know Lucas is a big time YouTuber and I'm only mentioning him, and shame on me. I should be paying attention to everybody else. I understand that, but Lucas is my friend and I think he looks like Rob Zombie and I just adore him. He says, so true and dirty natural balanced tanks make the colors and behavior pop like no other. See? It's all about the balance, the in between too much and not enough. I love that. And that's what it is. You know, because of your fish, if your fish are happy and thriving, look around. When Lucas, every Friday night, he goes around on his live stream and he shows you his tanks. His tanks look great. They don't look perfect. They don't look like George Farmer's tanks, but they look great and they look very natural, and the fish are just...
Everything looks healthy.
Yes, the fish are just delighted to be in there. And so that is your number one thing, and that is the number one thing that any fish keeper needs to pay attention to. If your fish are happy, if your water is testing properly, if you need to do a little bit of touch up to get the, algae from behind the rocks and you want to do a little house cleaning, that's one thing. But I personally do not believe, Alexander, I'm talking to you. I do not believe in a deep cleaning. Now, once every couple of months or whatever, you want to really get in there and gravel vac every square inch of it and clean that algae real good and okay, that's fine. But you will never find me do a 70% water change, clean everything immaculately, and service my filter at the exact same time. Nope. You won't find me do that because I know, I know that that's going to lead to more problems than what it's worth. And what I started trying to correct, all I did was make it worse. So keep that in mind. If your fish are happy and your fish are thriving, don't beat yourself up over how your aquarium looks. You are talking about an environment that's housing fish and all kinds of other living things. It's okay for it to not look like a hospital where there's not a speck of anything else anywhere. It's not. You don't want it that way.
But when is it a good time to do a deep cleaning?
I'm glad you said that because I was going to say, unless there was a big sickness or illness or something just raged through the tank and was killing a bunch of fish, then yeah, you got to do that. But again, we're talking about happy, healthy fish. If they're happy, healthy, thriving like they are in Lucas Bretz's tanks, stop messing with them.
Right.
And if it doesn't look perfect, that's okay because the fish look perfect and that's all that matters.
Right. There you go.
There we go.
All right.
Did you want to talk about that for a second before we move on?
Well, I was thinking, would you like to go through the super chats? Because I don't like it when they get behind and people might not still be here and I don't want to, forget them.
Rare bruh. Every time I see the word bruh, I think of bruh, that mean bruh. You guys are my favorite fish keeping YouTubers and one of my favorite YouTubers in general. I dropped the hobby as a kid, but after binging your videos, I took the plunge with a 10-gallon beta tank.
Nice.
Bravo.
Very nice.
Love it. Thank you. You are a rare bruh. Right there, rare bruh. What's World? Hola, amigos. I got nothing for you. I'm just here to take in the greatness that is KG Tropicals. Oh, and thanks for stopping by on Tuesday, Miss Lisa. Yeah.
Yes, that was so fun. That was an awesome stream. Whips World was on Rico Stan's stream, and he was fun. It was really fun to watch it.
I didn't know that that was happening. Otherwise, I would have gone in there and harassed you fellas too. But I did see an interview the other day with Zach Wild, and if I had your social media, I would have sent that video to you, Whips World. But anyway, Jeff H. I guess re-upped his membership. I'm confused about what's happening with the membership thing tonight. It's really, really weird. I got to get to the bottom of that before it drives me crazy. Lefty lots of numbers says Victorian Dress Fund.
Oh, That's so funny. Thanks.
Explain, please.
Thanks, Lefty. It's a comment. It's referring to a comment from the last video. Anyways, move along.
Oh, no. Turtlenecks. It's
Okay.
going to be a turtleneck. We're going to put her in a turtleneck for her next video so that people,
Right.
one person doesn't complain. Anyway. Jesus Guzman with the $5, nothing else, just that. Here it is. Thank you for that, my friend. Very much appreciated. Lefty, again, re-upped as a member, I guess. Maybe that's what's happening tonight. I don't know. I'm just reading the
Right.
thing as it's on here. Stephen P, 2003.
What's that mean?
I liked the way I said that right there. That sounded good.
Oh.
I don't, Awkwardix or whatever.
Okay.
Says, howdy, folks. Howdy.
I heard something interesting about Stephen P. when I was lurking for a little while in Susan's stream because Lefty was on SLC Aquatics tonight or earlier today, and I heard something about Stephen peeing himself, but I don't understand that.
Oh,
Yeah, you have to explain that, Stephen.
that's,
You don't want me to start rumors.
you know, I bet you as Stephen P is sitting in his house right now, I bet you he's thrilled that you just said that in front of 500 people.
Well, it was already on SLC Aquatics stream.
I like giving you a hard time. It's fun. Ligate came in again. Victory. Thank you, kind sir. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
The thing is, I don't wear it. I shaved last night, so my head's like sandpaper. Hear that? It's like sandpaper. So to wear a hat, it just bothers me. I got to let it go a couple days, and then I can wear the hat. I would have worn it the whole stream for you, but it was starting to bother me. Lefty, lots of numbers. I'll keep an eye on her for you. Yeah, you said that last time. I even promised to drive on the correct side of the road.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that we don't want to talk about that right now.
That was fun.
Adam Maybe, I hope I'm saying your name right. You guys are the reason I got back into the hobby after 20 years
Whoa.
and also got my wife hooked.
Nice. That's fun.
There's no better compliment. That's the best
Yeah.
compliment right there. Walter, Walter, I am sorry. Ali, I'm not sure how to say your name, and I don't want to botch it.
We'll just call him Walter White.
And he's I love Walter White. Heisenberg, we could refer to you as. Is Lucas still here? I want to know what Lucas is going to dress up as for Halloween at Aquashella,
I think
because
he left.
it has to be Rob Zombie. Come on, Lucas. I don't think you're still here.
He's got a busy weekend coming up.
That's okay. He can shoot. All he's got to do is put on like a leather jacket and say, "I'm Rob Zombie," and everybody will be like, "Okay." It's not an insult. Rob Zombie's a good-looking man with underneath all of that mess, but you know. Anyway, he makes great movies too. He says, "Thank you for a great lavender Dumbo mail."
He is in here.
Lucas is.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad that you like your Dumbo.
Trucking Fish Lover became a member. Welcome, everybody becoming members tonight. This is a beautiful thing. You being back makes everybody want to support the channel even more. That's
Oh
what
my
it is.
goodness. Stop.
This person just loves to hear me say his name or her name. It could be either one. Loop Noop Hoopy Oops.
I love that name. It's so cute.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Catwoman VA, Lisa, I thought Liev was lonely, so I added a blue mystery snail to his and another tank. I added him Saturday night, and he didn't notice him until Tuesday.
Oh my goodness. Well, that might be a good thing, actually.
I've got a snail in with Scott, and Scott has become super lazy over the last couple of months. And so he doesn't notice the snail either. And it's been in there for a while. But if I put another fish in there with him,
Oh, yeah.
he won't be lazy anymore. He's going to be all over that fish.
Right.
Leslie Perry, I absolutely love my shark filters, but my suction cups are failing. Is there any way to rejuvenate them? This is a common...
I would say lick them
Ew.
and then smash them on there. But if they're already in water and it's not working, then licking won't do any good.
Yeah, let's not be gross, please. No, the trick is, and this can help every suction cup. It's not a miracle fix, but it can work sometimes. One of the reasons why suction cups fail is because they get hard and stiff. G-rated, folks. Come on. So what you do is you put the suction cups into really hot water, not boiling water. You don't want to melt the suction cups, but put them in really, really hot water, and that'll help to kind of loosen them up again and get them pliable again. It can. It might not. I mean, it may be that that they're just done. You know, I mean, it happens to suction cups after some time. I don't know how long you've had those, but if you soak them in really, really hot water, that might loosen them up again and give you some more life out of them. If not, you know, you might want to just order some more from the CJ website. We don't carry them. They're super duper cheap. I mean, like ridiculously cheap. You could buy 30 of them and never need to never have this problem again. But try the hot water first. Real hot, not boiling, but real hot, and see if that helps. Melissa Jeswald, if you need video of algae, I think I could help you out. I'm not an algae hater. Love you too. There's a lot of tanks out there where people just let algae go. I'll give you a great example. Rachel in her biker tank, I saw one of her videos a long time ago. She was showing them. She had blackbeard algae flowing in the current of the water. Mm-hmm. And Rachel was Rachel. She was just like, I know it's there, and if you don't like it, I don't care. And that's what we love about Rachel. But it actually looked kind of cool. It was just like flowing in the breeze of the water. And
I have some algae on some of my tanks in the living room.
Oh, I never noticed. Unfiltered Aquarist says, preach. Not preaching, helping. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to make a difference here. Trying to keep those fish keepers fish keeping. We got to start that series back up again. Brian Barlow, how many ppm do you like to have your nitrates at? Do you monitor closely, or do you just monitor it visually? How fish are acting, amount of crud, etc. That's a great question. I'm not going to go too deep into it. You want to know why? Because that's what this week's video is about. That's coming out on Sunday. But I'm a 10 parts per million or so guy, around there. If it gets up to 15, I'm not sounding the alarm, and even starts to creep up, in around 20, I'm not going to like freak out. Oh my God, my fish are all going to die. But if it gets higher than that, that's when I know, okay, it's time to start doing something. But I like them to be in the neighborhood of 10 or lower. I'm really glad that you put, or do you just monitor it visually, how fish are acting? Because that's what we were just talking about. And it goes along with that so perfectly, because you can tell. I mean, when you're doing this long enough, you can look at a tank, like your tanks in the living room. Yeah. And you can be healthy. Like,
they're healthy.
You can say, I haven't done my job on that tank. Now, if the fish get to a point where they're acting funny, then shame on you. You haven't had that with those fish. Their fish are
my
fine.
beta sorority is
they're
thriving.
Perfectly fine. And if they weren't, you would have done a better job taking care of it. But again, there's only so many hours in the day. But yeah, you definitely can, when you get to know your fish. Like a great example, I don't know if you can tell this on camera, and you might not know how this room is set up, but if I look straight past you, I'm looking directly at the Yellow Lab tank. Mm-hmm. Now I've got a iMac screen blocking most of it, but all day long I do this.
Oh,
and I just look at them, and I just love it. It's so much fun. If I had to do it over again, I would have put it over just a little bit more so that I can see it better, even with the screen here. But if my Yellow Labs started acting funny, I would know it, because I see them all day long, right, every day. If these fish started acting weird, give you a great example. If my Lepradi, he's right there. He looks like a log, but he's right there. If he started swimming around, that's Goyle, by the way. If he started swimming around all day long, up and down all over the place like Crab does, which is my Enlicari, I would say, okay, something ain't right. Because he doesn't do that. He lays like that all the time. He is the opposite of my other one. My other one happens to be laying down at the moment right now. But there you go. Same thing.
He's usually so
Yeah.
active.
If the Endlicari started laying down all the time, I'd be like, hey, wait a minute. Something ain't right. This, I got to do something. I mean, if he lays down for a couple hours, it's not a big deal. But if he started behaving
I mean,
like
it's
the other one,
late and he's tired.
yeah, he's been all over the place all day. And before we're done, he'll be up again
Right.
complaining that I haven't fed him yet. But you're going to know. You're going to be able to look in your tank and you're going to know they're off. Something ain't right. And I will go into more depth in Sunday's video. So you're going to want to make sure you watch that. Not a lot of animations in that, even though the feedback that we've gotten on the animations, I'm not going to lie, it's been 100% positive. I mean, I haven't had anybody complain yet. I was a little worried when I first started doing it, like somebody was going to comment because, you know, people do. Oh, what are you, just like making videos for kindergartners now? I was a little bit afraid of that. It wouldn't have changed my strategy, but I was a little worried about that, but none of that. Everybody has been very, very supportive of that. So thank you for that.
Right.
But we will address that more. Not we, it's just me in Sunday's video. So be on the lookout for that. Paul Martin, membership milestone, part of the super chat button. Here's to 36 more months. Maybe that's what it is. You can select.
Paul Martin, I think, has been around longer than anybody.
I think the very first member was Nisi. Remember Nisi?
Really? Yeah, I remember Nisi.
But Paul Martin was one of the first like 5 members that we got.
That is so cool.
He was like right away the first day he did that because he's just a wonderful person.
Awesome.
LC, my 75-gallon got delivered yesterday. Glass top broke in transit. New one is being made. Filter arrived today. Will have my home theater system up and running in the next week. Is hose water safe?
You use it.
I do. I'm assuming he means the home theater system
Is the tank.
is the aquarium,
Yeah.
which I think is genius. That's
Of course.
brilliant. Good
Especially
for you.
if it's a cat, you know, you have a cat. Because they like to watch the fish.
Is hose water safe to use? 100% yes, it is. It's the exact same water as what you have coming out of every other tap in your house. The only time you might run into issues is with brand new hoses. I will never fill tanks with a brand new hose. I guess it's the chemicals that are used,
That's true.
you know, when they make the hose, and I don't know how it's done, but sometimes when you get a brand new hose, you smell the water and it's like, oh. And as a kid, you know, we didn't get juice boxes and popsicles every time we had one bead of sweat fall down our forehead as a kid. We went and drank water out of the hose.
Right,
and
I
sometimes you drink water and be like, ugh, good, what is that? You know, so what I like to do with hoses, even when it is not a new hose, I like to flush them out real good.
Like put the little nozzle thingy on there that, you know, you do that and just start spraying the neighborhood kids or something, you know, get all that yucky water out first.
Yeah, that's very disrespectful to the environment. I was going to suggest maybe watering the bushes or the lawn or the flowers or, you know, geez, she's not environmentally conscious here, folks. But no, that's whatever you do
I was
with
just
that
talking
water.
about fun.
I know that would be fun, especially some of the kids we have in this neighborhood. It'd be fun because they wouldn't get mad. They'd be like, "Yay!" But anyway, particularly with a new one, I would let it run for a while. You can't really put cleaners and stuff like that through it. I mean, I don't know how you would do that, and I wouldn't want to do that. So I wouldn't mess with that. I would just let your water run through the brand new hose, kind of clear all that stuff out. My thing is I don't use a hose on an aquarium until it's mature. It's been through a couple seasons. It's had a lot of gallons run through it. That's when I'll turn it into we're filling up the fish tanks with this one now, and it's hooked up directly to my spigot outside. That's what we call them in Virginia, spigot. You probably call them that too, wherever you're at. But That's how I do it, and it's perfectly fine. Like I said, it's the exact same water. The only thing that you have with using a hose is you don't have that opportunity to make the water warm. It's going to be very, very cold. You got to be aware of that, depending if you have very fragile fish that are fragile to cooler temperatures, you might want to do smaller water changes. Yeah, there you go. Justin Gillette, thoroughly enjoy your channel. You both are awesome. Thank you for keeping me interested in the hobby and the possibility of someday making a career out of it. Woo.
Ooh, nice.
I could only hope to be as happy as you two. Let me tell you, it's a blessing. I'm not going to lie. It's a beautiful thing, what we do for a living, and I pinch myself every single day. Mm-hmm. There are things I wish I could change, but they have nothing to do with the job. They have everything to do with this setup here. But anyway, but yeah, good luck with that, Justin. This industry is not going to go anywhere, and it's going to do nothing but continue to grow, I think. It's never going to stop shrinking, and it's never going to stop growing, because there's a constant flow of people out and people in. So
we're trying to keep the people in instead of them going out. So
it's a difficult goal, but that's what we're trying to do. Whips World, who had the enormous fire eel in their fish room when you were doing the members' fish room tours?
Yeah.
Say it.
I know who it was.
Say it.
Rifkin.
Yes, Evan Rifkin. What an amazing fish. Don't think I haven't thought about one for that. It's too late now. That tank's not full. There is room for an ornate biker in there. I was going to buy one this week. You wouldn't let me.
What?
She rules the roost, folks.
I did not say you couldn't buy it.
You most certainly did.
What did I say? Let's be, factual here.
You said it's not a good idea to ship a fish that large, and I disagree, but I also agree. Because this guy's a professional. He would be fine shipping a fish that size, but it's a 13, 14-inch fish being shipped. Yeah, that is a little bit scary. I'm sure it would have been fine, but I agree.
I mean, if it was like 12 foot, 10 to 12.
12 feet would be fine.
I meant 10 to 12 inches. But larger, I would just worry. When we shipped that huge giant Placo that time.
And it made it fine.
I worried so much because you never know.
It is risky. And the thing is, ornate bikers, I kind of feel like I want to pick that out in person, which is why I didn't fight you on it. Because when you said, maybe we shouldn't ship a fish, we are not against shipping fish that size, folks. If you want to order one, do it. I mean, but we live our life on YouTube. If we did that and it didn't work out, it would be a massive problem. So, we don't want to do that. But I don't know where I was going with that. But I do feel like, I don't know. It's like buying a dog. You're not going to buy a dog online. Bikers are a different thing. They're just a different experience. And I just think it makes a difference picking them out in person. But we're not against shipping fish. We ship fish every day, but not 12-inch, 13-inch long fish. Hi, John and Lisa. This is from Christian Mateo. Can I add more female on a 50 gallons with 10 to 15 betas already in it? Greetings from the Philippines. Already got 10 to 15.
If it's working, leave it alone. I don't like adding more females to beta sorority tanks that are already established, because you're kind of risking the new one's life.
Resetting the whole hierarchy. Everything gets all mixed up.
I would just leave it alone if it's working. Yep.
My Frank Birkin, my local water is 581 parts per million hardness. My building has softer water. How safe is it blending? Thanks for the aquascaping comments. I was frustrated as my tank didn't look like the videos. Yeah, see, there you go, Frank. You got to pay attention to that. You certainly can mix it. The problem is what you're going to want to find out, and this is something I'm being brutally honest, and fully transparent, I don't pay attention to water hardness. I mean, I just go by pH. And I know there's a lot of people that would say that that's blaspheme, but what I would say is, if that's something that you're paying attention to, good for you. Research the fish that you have or the fish that you want to get, see what they want. And if they need it lower than that and you add your softened water to it and it blends to be where you need it to be, then yeah, it's perfectly fine to add that softer water. You might have to use buffers and all that kind of stuff to get it where you need it to be. I don't choose to play that game. I want to have fish that are going to cooperate with our water straight out of the tap because it just makes my life easier.
I treat water with the pH neutralizer,
For the Bettas, yeah. I mean,
every single one of them. I have to fill up gallon jugs, a lot of gallon jugs, and I pre-treat every single gallon jug before I add the water. I put the mix in there. And I fill them all up. I let them sit for a day or 2 or 3. And, I just let it, work in the water. And then I'll do the water changes. But I don't know. I'm just funny like that.
Well, but that's the thing. You decided we were going to sell Bettas on our website. And this is a business. We want to make sure everything's right. You're doing what you have to do to make sure that it's right. And you take care of those, and it's great for our business. That makes sense. For my personal tanks, I don't want to mess around with that kind of stuff. I don't want to be buffering water and all of that kind of stuff. I want to be able to go straight out of the tap. If I need to soften it a little bit, put the driftwood, stuff like that in there. And that's all I really want to do. I don't want to have to be chasing numbers all the time because that just makes things more frustrating. It's not laziness. It's just easier and more enjoyable. I want to enjoy this hobby. I don't want it to be frustrating and working me to death.
Right.
Miss Lee came in with an Australian $10 and nothing else to it. Just here's 10 of my Australian dollars.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Lee, for that. Death by Fish Tanks, my favorite fish keeping power couple.
Aww.
It's been a while since I can't you guys on a live stream. It's been a while since I can't you guys on a live stream. Don't forget, platies are awesome. We've never forgotten that. I love platies.
Platies are nice.
Mickey Mouse platies, I love.
Oh, they're cute. Yeah.
I love them very, very much.
I like platies.
It's been a while since I can't you guys on a live. Yeah.
Caught.
Maybe that's what it was. Caught you guys on a live stream. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, we're glad to have you. Don't let your fish tanks kill you, please. And Fernando Rosales became a member. Welcome to the team, my friend. We've got 7 minutes for you to talk about that.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay, so I did a poll this week, and I thought I'd go over it, because people get a kick out of it sometimes. But this week's poll was hardest freshwater fish to keep. And I put down the choices were German blue rams, discus, neon tetras, ottos, and other, because I always have to put other because there's always someone. So anyway, let's see. The one I got the most, should I go that route? Let's start with the least.
You want to build the drama?
Yeah, the least votes was the ottos with 8%. I did see a lot of comments, though, about ottos in the comment section. And then the next was tied for 12%, neon tetras and German blue rams. And then, of course, other was 13%. But the one that shocked me, the largest one, was 55%. And I kind of thought it would be other, because I thought there would be more people wanting to choose other fish besides the ones I put down. But it was discus at 55%. I was really shocked about that. Now, I could see if I put like wild caught discus, but discus in general, I I feel like they have a bad rap. Like everybody thinks they're so hard to keep. And I think if you do your research and you really just know how to keep them, you wouldn't find that they're that hard to keep.
Your discus tank is as easy as any of the tanks we have in this entire house.
I feel like a discus tank is easier than a beta sorority. And that's why,
It's certainly easier than an African cichlid tank.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, my sororities, it's more because of the plants that I have issues with than the fish. But so anyway, some of the comments, I'll go over a few. Curl Kitty 08 said, I have troubles with the gouramis. They always get sick or get bloat and will never eat peas. I think with that, I would just maybe throw in some spirulina, every few days or something. Maybe it'll help prevent that. Then Lunch says, I've never had any success with CPDs. I've tried a few times, had autos once, didn't last a week. And I believe the autos come in anyways as a wild caught. That might be why. It's really hard to get parameters exactly the same as any wild caught fish. If you're new to fish keeping, stay away from wild caught anything. Learn how to take care of fish first and keep an aquarium.
Learn how to take care of water first.
Exactly, water. Stardust Joe says, discus only because the water parameters need to be perfect. Once it's established, then they aren't too terribly difficult. And you know what? We just talked about all of that, so I really don't need to comment on that. Nittanyberg 20 said, any fish I try to keep is the hardest.
That's unfortunate.
Maybe try snails.
Guppies. Danios.
One goldfish and a larger tank, but like not a 10 or anything, but get you a 30 gallon and get a little goldfish, not a comet, but a little fancy tail one. Liam Creighton said, I keep all of them and I have never had a problem. So,
there you go.
I just love seeing everybody's opinions because everybody has a different, some people have the same kind of comment, but there's so many different comments. So I just like to share those with everybody.
We've got 2 minutes left. Angel Mika. I'm probably not saying that right, and I feel terrible.
Yeah.
Hi, John and Lisa. I have a 20-gallon long community beta tank. Would it be a good idea to add a female beta?
A community tank that doesn't already have a beta in it?
Well, it says a 20-gallon long community beta tank, which to me means
sorority.
there's already a beta in there.
I wouldn't just randomly add a female.
Listen, betas or bettas, you can call them whatever you want. We won't be mad at you. They are jerks. Period. They're jerks, particularly to the same kind. And
to others, they can be.
Yeah, I mean, and are there stories of, I had a female and male beta that lived together for 5 years and they were perfectly fine? Sure, there's stories out there. Yeah, but those are so rare. You're more likely to win the lottery. So just don't do it. If you have a male beta in a tank with community fish, if you put a beta in there, a female, it's going to be problems.
If you have a community tank that doesn't have any other beta in it, just a community tank, then putting a female in there would be fine. You just want to throw a female in there with other community fish, then that's perfectly fine. You just always have to be careful. Like if you are adding a long fin male into a community tank, you want to make sure you don't have fin nippers because they'll, won't work out as well for the beta. And I like to say if you are going to put betas in a community tank, always have the other fish in first, then add the beta. Don't have the beta and then, let me go out and get 12 army nose and add with the beta. Let the beta be the last one to go in.
we just got probably my favorite super chat I've ever heard.
Oh.
Ever read.
Right.
I just got my white Dumbo beta male. I named him Mr. White, as in Walter White.
Sweet.
Simply so I could say, "Yo, Mr. White," which is a Jesse Pinkman reference.
I know. I watched it.
Thank you, Miss Lee, for that. And then real quick, Chris Vesey, I'm probably not saying that right. I have a tire track eel and feed him night crawlers once a day. Will this get him bigger, faster? He's 9 inches. I have fed night crawlers to fish in the past. Great source of protein. A little bit risky. I never had any problems with them, but after a while, it kind of got to be a hassle. So I just stopped doing it and started feeding frozen shrimp and stuff like that instead. I feed these guys. The bikers are really the only ones that eat it, which would be a similar diet to your eel. I feed them cut up tilapia. I buy frozen tilapia in a big bag at Walmart, a bunch of fillets. And I sit down here. I put them all, not all, but I usually put like 5 or 6 of them in a bucket of warm water and just let them sit there for a while, still in the little wrappers. And then I will get a cutting board. It's actually right there, and I'll slice them all up and put them in Ziploc bags and then put them in the refrigerator and feed them one of those once a day, one bag once a day. And it's great. I mean, it's a great source of protein. They absolutely gobble it all up. And most of it gets down to them without the Oscars or the Severums eating it. So it's a perfect
Poor
thing.
fish. You feed fish. It's like feeding a pig bacon.
It is very weird, but it is, I mean, I don't know. All the fish food out there is made from fish. So it's 9:32. LC, will you ever start shipping to Canada? Really would love one of Lisa's betas or fish supplies for my tanks. Why or why not? We won't. I can't say we never will, but it's just too expensive. It's too expensive. I wish it wasn't that way. But the shipping over to you, I understand there are people, and I know this sounds weird for me saying this, there are people that want to buy from us simply because they want to buy from us. And we appreciate that very much. Yeah. It wouldn't feel right for us. Shipping betas to Canada, there's only like probably a 4-month window that we could do that because of the weather y'all got up there.
Yeah, true.
And there's no way we could get it done fast enough, and it would just, you'd spend $40 for a fish and $389 for shipping. It's just outrageous, and nobody's going to want to do that. As far as the dry goods, it's kind of the same way. The shipping costs would be higher than the products themselves, and it's just not worth it for anybody to do that. So I wish it wasn't that way. There may be a time where we can ship certain things to our friends in Canada, like shirts and stuff like that. Maybe someday, but for now we just have them on Teespring for people that are overseas. So there it is. And I didn't say this in the beginning, but I meant to. The thumbnail of today's video, if you saw it, I'm sure you did, that is the logo that we're putting on the shirts. They're getting printed right now as we speak. And they will go on the website as soon as we've got them. I can't wait for that.
I got to say something really quick. Okay. Delilah's Critters said, it's not the same. That's like being weirded out about us eating land animals. Most of the animals in the ocean are fish. That's their whole world. I know. I was just kidding because I don't eat land animals. I'm a vegetarian, so I joke around about that.
But it is true. You have to think about that.
Oh, yeah,
sometimes.
they got to eat something, you know, I mean, of course.
It's not all that weird for a fish to eat a shrimp.
Yeah.
But for a fish to eat another fish, it is weird. But, you know,
but honestly,
it is what it is.
What are they going to eat? Not all of them just eat the algae and stuff, you know?
That's right. One last one, Jungle Hunter BC with the 99 cents. Thank you so much for that, my friend. We have to sign off. We have already taken up 5 minutes of, what's that guy's name again? Fish Room Fever and Chattanooga Ed. We don't want to step on their toes too much. I was so glad to have you back today. This was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thanks, it was fun.
Thank
Happy
you for-
birthday, Kyle.
Yes, happy
Sorry.
birthday, Kyle. And there we go. So we are going to have to sign off. Doing it. I'm
Alright.
handing it off to you.
All right. Well, it was a lot of fun being back, and I will sometimes visit chat and do that again here and there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun being back and hanging out and talking and chatting live. But I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. I know I'm going to have a wonderful weekend at Keystone Clash, hanging out with fish friends. And if you have been debating on whether to go, if you live close enough, like you're just a few hours away or something, go to Pennsylvania, go to the Keystone Clash and hang out with people and listen to awesome people talk and just go and have a good time. If you're there, come up to me, say hello. I would love to meet everybody. And if you're not, then hopefully you get to see a lot of footage that people take and put up on YouTube. So there you go. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday.